Stanford Erickson, editorial director of Chiropractic Economics, and I'm with somewhat of a legend, or one of the really strong, if there are 4 or 5 legs in chiropractic, this is one of the legs, and it's Dr. Morter Jr., and he has various Morters here.
Yes.
You've been presidents of colleges and started colleges as well, right?
Yes, I was president of Logan College and started and was president of Parker College along with Jim Parker.
Mm-hmm. And you have some children up there too, right?
I have 3 children who practice B.E.S.T, which is bioenergetic synchronization technique, which is basically a subtle energy technique that I developed because I wanted to learn the cause of the subluxation. I wanted, what causes bones to move out of place? And I kept going and kept going and kept going, and I found muscles pull bones, but ultimately the cause of muscles being tight when they shouldn't be is the emotions. So my work of late has involved the limbic system, studying how emotions affect physiology.
When you first came out, did you think like that? Were you more of a original chiropractor?
Yes, I did typical adjusting in the face-down position. I found the bones that needed to be moved, and I was very successful at moving bones. Got great symptomatic relief on most of my people. And so I started focusing on those that I didn't get great results. And I didn't pay attention to those that thought I could help anything. I wanted to know what's wrong with these people that aren't getting better. So I looked for what was common in that group compared to the other group, and then tried to make the non-responding group like the other group. And that's how this whole process worked. And I've been studying it for 45 years.
Now, in addition to the technique, and we're going to use some of the techniques so we can see it, but in addition to the technique, you do nutrition, and there are other parts of your company too. Is that not
Yes, yes. We do seminars all over the world. I've traveled over 1 million miles, 2 million miles in fact, and I teach Europe and South Africa and Australia and all over the United States, Canada. And what I do is teach people how they can change their lives so they enjoy life better. They're not stiff anymore. Just because they get to be 40 and 50, they don't have to be stiff. But they don't know what to do not to be stiff. So they just believe it's a part of getting old. And I don't believe that at all. I don't even believe in disease. I think it's an illusion. And what we have to realize is that everything in our life is what we created. It doesn't just happen to us, it happens for us. And if we don't learn the lessons at the time they occur, it's going to manifest physically. So, you know, it's interesting, we all come here to learn something, but when we get here, we don't know what we came here to learn.
You know, it's interesting, you sound like Jim Parker to some degree.
Well, what I found out, the best way to find out how are you doing and what you came here to learn is how are you physically. And if you're sick, you missed some lesson somewhere.
But now I know why you started Parker College, right?
Yeah, Jim liked what I'm all about very much. Sure
now,
did.
could you show the technique a little bit?
Well, I believe that the body's created strong and symmetrical. Therefore, the arms should both be strong and the legs should be even in length and turn in. And if they're not, then I know there's some interference. And when I use the word interference, I'm referring to something that has disconnected this person from the power that built it. That's a disconnect, or that's interference. And when we remove the interference, then the legs are both even and the arms are both strong. Then I know this person has been reconnected, body, mind, and spirit, to the power of creation.
Might you show some of the technique?
I simply just test an arm like this, make sure they keep it down, and tell them to hold, and don't let me relax this, and don't let me push your arm this way. Hold. And you see, she's recruiting. A lot of this is all too tight, so I know she's defense physiology. I immediately know what her feet are going to be like, and I haven't even gotten there yet, just by what I see here. So I would assume this is weak, even though it appears strong. So if I'll come down there, I'll just show you what I'm talking about when I say, let me get right here, and I'll just show you that when I go to turn her legs in, they won't turn. So this is a demonstration of the difference between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. If I tell her to touch your toes together, just bend them in and touch your, see, she can do that. That's her conscious mind overriding her subconscious mind. If I tell her to relax and then I try to turn them, they won't turn. I mean, they just won't turn. So that's interference. So I know that that's in her brain as an emotion. So I find out where that emotion is, I find out where it is stored, and the negativity that it is stored under, and then have her think of a positive emotion that neutralizes that, so that we get all three of her brains working together. The conscious mind, the prefrontal lobe, the emotional brain, and the cerebellum or the lower brain. So that's what we do in an adjustment. Then to find out what needs to be done, I hold certain contacts on their brain, and what that does is reorganize so that her brain is symmetrical, so that her conscious and her subconscious mind are functioning together, and the left half and the right half are together. Then the person cannot be sick. And if they are sick, they have to begin to get well.
Now, how long does it take for a doctor of chiropractic to come to that kind of understanding?
Well, it's taken me 45 years.
Yes, so how can you help a young doctor of chiropractic come to that understanding?
Yes, it doesn't take 45 years,
yes,
because I just direct their thoughts in the direction of innate capacity. Instead of me thinking, I'm going to do it with my conscious mind, I teach them how to listen to their subconscious mind. And their subconscious mind and the subconscious mind of the patient or the client knows everything. So if I can communicate that way, then the body will tell me what to do to allow it to become self-healing, self-diagnosing, self-regulating.
Now, if a doctor of chiropractic would like more information about you, sir, and your technique and the various products, how do they go about that?
Well, they can come on our web, drmtm@morter.com, or 1-800-874-1478. Either one of those will get us in contact, and they can learn more, so it won't take them 45 years to learn what I've learned.
Honored to be with you, sir.
Thank you very much.